Hey Fandoms, Mia for a comic show. It's a smaller than average week. It's, you know, the 5 Wednesdays when there's 5 weeks and the publishers just have to get the same amount of stuff they were probably going to put out in 4 weeks. In 5 weeks, a lot of times the 5th week gets the shaft. And but there were some big books this week, and we also have something big going on here at the comic shop locally. The biggest book of the week is probably this Secret Empire 10. Marvel did spoil the ending with national news coverage, whatnot, yesterday, putting out the money shot, or one of the money shots in here. Not the real money shot. There's a 2-page spread in here that is just crazy. It's cathartic. How about that? But as far as spoiling it, generally I'm very against comic companies spoiling things on the internet through news sites before readers get a chance to read it, but I don't think anyone could say they did not see this coming. Not see this coming, because Nazi Cap, man, screw him. Screw Hydra. You know, no more Hydra. Let's get going. And the cool thing about this, and this is also not a spoiler, is it syncs up to Generations. When you're done with this, it's like, oh, now read Generations. And it's like, well, I've already really been reading it, but yeah, now it's synced up. And the Archers is out, Hawkeye and Hawkeye. This is the regular writer of Hawkeye, Thompson, and it's very emotional. It's very emotionally heavy. It has its humor moments. It has all that stuff that we love from the Hawkeyes, but it has a lot of chunks near the end of really heavy emotional stuff, and that's going to lead right into Hawkeye's book as Clint comes back into that book. And again, Marvel Previews is free. Marvel is sending us tons of these free to every comic shop around, and we will be able to give these to you free. I can't guarantee what other stores do, but we got a big chunk free, and we're going to be giving them out free, trying to get people to check out what legacy book they might think will be their new favorite. So obviously, Captain America is a big contender with Mark Waid back on it, so that's a good thing. Star Wars, Mace Windu, Jedi of the Republic is out. This is, Mace Windu. So far, the story takes place in Clone Wars times, after Attack of the Clones and before Sith. You have the Jedi Council, and you have Mace, and you have a special mission he's going on. But maybe it'll sync up by the end to something that we've all been teased about, that he survived, maybe, and he teased that himself, Samuel Jackson, with Star Wars Celebration this year. So maybe he's still alive, and maybe that'll sync up, and maybe Marvel's laying the groundwork for that. Because, I mean, why else do a Mace Windu miniseries? I mean, I know he's popular, but come on. Like, these comics have to be important to the overall mythos of Star Wars. And if you're digging that, make sure you get Mace Windu, because it was solid. It was definitely solid. Moving on to DC. Really small week for them. They put out some specials, they put up some annuals, and volume 3 of Batman is out. This is I Am Bane. It comes right out of volume 2, I Am Suicide, and I'm really digging Tom King's Batman run. It was a slow burn. Like, yes, there was a lot of action at the very beginning, but not stuff I was really that into with Gotham Girl and Gotham Boy, whatnot, and all that stuff. But that led to Psycho Pirate, which led to Bane, which led to The Button, which is all these awesome machinations he has building and building and building. So, if you did not like the first couple issues of Batman, maybe you were so into Scott Snyder's run that you didn't really want to give it a chance, it does get a lot better past the first story arc, and I'm really loving it now. Still love all Snyder's work, though. No metal tie-ins this week, so that sucks. Red Hood and the Outlaws annual is out, as well as a Supergirl annual. If you're reading those books, you should get the annuals written by the same people, kind of the crescendo of some things. So it was cool. I enjoyed seeing Bizarro in overalls, why not? And there's 2 oversized Jack Kirby 100-year specials this week. You have Black Racer and Norman, Shiloh Norman, which you remember he was Mr. Miracle for a time, both back in my JLI type era and in Grant Morrison's Seven Soldiers of Victory era. And this is just a story that kind of, just an iconic story based on some of his characters. And Reginald Hudlin wrote the opening story, and it was good. And Darkseid, this is probably the one everyone was most waiting for. You got friggin' Darkseid, Kirby's biggest creation at DC, arguably, and there's an OMAC backup story, but this was fun. It was fun, you know, nothing to really say like, oh, this is where they're going with the character in continuity for Rebirth or whatever, but it was a fun one-shot. Moving on to Image books, the biggest deal with Image this week is Image Plus is back to a new #1, a new volume of it. Well, the past volume was all Walking Dead and Negan. This is $1.99, and it is Snyder and Jock's Wytches, which continues here. Before, you know, it's just a regular 6-issue miniseries for Image, and that's just a $10 collection. It was great horror story. This, we get a chapter at a time, which is 8 pages at a time, in this for $2. And all the other stuff is cool interviews, preview pages of things that aren't even in previews yet for Image that you can order and know about. So Image is really pushing that. And I'm glad Scott Snyder has picked up the ball on it. Saga's out. This is a heart-wrenching issue with another crazy cliffhanger, like a lot of them are, but it was particularly heart-wrenching. Hillbilly by Eric Powell, the guy that does The Goon. This is one of his creations. He owns it outright. He self-publishes it. It's Albatross Press, and it's out with Volume 1. So if you heard about it and just missed it, slept on it, get it. You know, you can rack it next to your Goons on your bookcase. Now, moving on to franchise stuff, Robotech. I really liked the first issue. Nostalgically, you know, I watched Robotech as a little kid, you know, sitting on the floor watching cartoons. Love the book. I love Brian Wood. So Brian Wood, he does a great job when he puts his heart into something like he did with Star Wars a while back and whatnot. He can do great company books. He can do great franchise books. And apparently, you know, Brian Wood is around the age that I am, that, you know, watched Robotech as a kid, loves Robotech, and he's doing it a great service in this kind of soft reboot. So, you know, I'm sure they'll change some things, but so far I'm really enjoying it. Go-Go Power Rangers 2 is out. #1 we did a big push for. It's basically Power Rangers Year 1, right? It's basically Power Rangers Year 1. So that's pretty cool, pretty exciting, and it definitely has its own place against the main Power Ranger book. It's not just like, oh, there's 2 Power Ranger books going on now that just kind of tell stories with these characters. Now this is a Year 1, and this is a current one, and yeah, sorry there's no Green Ranger in this one, but, you know, it's Year 1. And also, big deal for Power Rangers fans, we have Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the adult coloring book, out this week from Boom Studios, and it looks pretty freaking awesome. And we have several of them, and we can all color in the Geek Easy and get drunk. And yes, it's a small week. Here at a comic shop, we're pushing the hell out of Marvel Legacy, the issue 1, the 50-something page single issue by Jason Aaron. We have these cards that we're giving out to people, reminding them that the Jason Aaron signing's on September 27th. It's the Wednesday from 6 to 10, and on the back, if you prepay, you can get it for $1 off. We stamp the card, you bring it back for the regular or the lenticular, and it's a Fast Pass card, so you can have access to the Fast Pass line, which will take 3 people from that line for every 1 person for the other line. You'll get your stuff signed faster, and if you don't come that day and you have your card and come back for it, it will be signed, because we're going to make him sign every copy we have that's left over. Even if I have to take them to his hotel room and get him to sign it. I don't care. He's going to sign it. Come on now. It's Jason Aaron. He's cool, right? So come to the signing. Come to your comic shop this week. Pick up Mace Windu if you read any Star Wars, because there's not really that much out. And Secret Empire 10 ended the way that I predicted, that a lot of cooler minds predicted. And it was a very cathartic, very awesome ending for people that you know, knew what was going to happen, more or less, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed seeing not just that I was right, but it's fun. It's fun. I wish that something like that would happen in real life. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.